Hello, Brain Fuelers. Welcome back to Brain Fuel TV, the channel for your dose of Bible knowledge. Today we are tackling one of the biggest stories in the entire Old Testament, the life of Moses. We've got 45 true or false questions designed to test just how well you know this story of burning bushes, stubborn pharaohs, plagues, and wilderness wanderings. We've split the quiz into 3 levels: easy, intermediate, and hard. When you're all done, drop your final score in the comment section below. We love to see how you did. And if you enjoy this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a quiz. All right, let's get started with level 1, the easy round. True or false? Moses was born an Egyptian. False. Moses was born an Israelite from the tribe of Levi. True or false? Moses was hidden in a basket and placed in the Nile River to save him from Pharaoh. True. His mother Jochebed placed him in a papyrus basket among the reeds. True or false? Moses was found and adopted by the Queen of Sheba. False. He was found by Pharaoh's daughter. True or false? Moses fled Egypt because he killed an Israelite slave. False. He fled after killing an Egyptian whom he saw beating an Israelite. True or false? God first spoke to Moses from a burning bush that was not consumed by the fire. True. This happened on Mount Horeb while Moses was working as a shepherd. True or false? As a sign, God turned Moses' staff into a scorpion. False. God turned his staff into a snake. True or false? Moses' brother Aaron was appointed by God to be a spokesman. True. Moses complained he was slow of speech, so God appointed Aaron to speak for him. True or false? God sent a total of 12 plagues upon Egypt. False. God sent 10 plagues. True or false? The final plague in Egypt was the death of all the firstborn. True. This plague convinced Pharaoh to finally let the Israelites go. True or false? During the Passover, the Israelites painted their doorposts with the blood of a goat. False. They were commanded to use the blood of a lamb. True or false? Moses parted the Red Sea by striking it with his staff. False. God commanded Moses to raise his staff over the sea, and God sent a strong east wind to divide the waters. True or false? The 10 Commandments were given to Moses on Mount Nebo. False. They were given to him on Mount Sinai, also called Horeb. True or false? While Moses was on the mountain, the Israelites built a golden calf to worship. True. They grew impatient and asked Aaron to make them gods. True or false? God provided water for the Israelites in the desert by making it rain from the sky. False. God provided water from a rock after Moses struck it. True or false? Moses successfully led the Israelites into the promised land of Canaan. False. Moses died before the Israelites entered the promised land. Joshua took over. And that's the end of level 1. How did you do? Got those 15 correct? You definitely know the basics. But don't get too comfortable. The questions are about to get more specific. Let's see how you handle level 2, the intermediate round. True or false? After fleeing Egypt, Moses went to the land of Midian, where he became a crop farmer. False. He went to Midian, but he became a shepherd for his father-in-law, Jethro. True or false? Moses' wife was named Zipporah. True. She was the daughter of Jethro, the priest of Midian. True or false? The first plague God sent upon Egypt was a swarm of locusts. False. The first plague was turning the water of the Nile River into blood. True or false? The Egyptian magicians were able to replicate the first 2 plagues, but failed on the third. True. They replicated the plagues of blood and frogs, but could not produce the gnats. True or false? Moses' father-in-law Jethro advised him to appoint judges to help him bear the burden of leading the people. True. Jethro observed that Moses was overexerting himself and advised him to delegate authority. True or false? The food God provided from heaven was called manna, which means God's bread. False. The name manna translates to "what is it?" because the Israelites were unsure of its identity. True or false? When Moses came down from Mount Sinai and saw the golden calf, he shattered the 2 tablets of the 10 Commandments. True. He threw the tablets down in anger, breaking them at the foot of the mountain. True or false? Moses' sister Miriam was briefly struck with leprosy for criticizing Moses. True. She and Aaron spoke against Moses, and God punished Miriam with leprosy, which he later healed. True or false? Moses sent 10 spies into the land of Canaan. False. He sent 12 spies, 1 from each tribe. True or false? The only 2 spies who brought back a good report were Joshua and Caleb. True. The other 10 spies feared the inhabitants of the land, but Joshua and Caleb trusted God. True or false? As punishment for their disbelief, the Israelites were sentenced to wander the wilderness for 40 years, 1 year for every day the spies were in the land. True, the spies were in the land for 40 days, resulting in 40 years of wandering. True or false? Moses' two sons were named Gershom and Eliezer. True. Zipporah bore him these two sons in Midian. True or false? The prophet Balaam was hired by the king of Egypt to curse the Israelites. False. He was hired by Balak, the king of Moab. True or false? God commanded Moses to make a bronze serpent on a pole to heal people bitten by fiery serpents. True. Anyone who was bitten and looked at the bronze serpent lived. Okay, level 2 is complete. How's your score looking now? It's time for the final challenge. This is where we separate the scholars from the students. 15 more questions. This is level 3, the hard round. Good luck. True or false? Aaron's staff miraculously budded, produced blossoms, and bore almonds as a sign of his authority. True. This confirmed that the tribe of Levi and the house of Aaron were God's chosen priests. True or false? Moses was 40 years old when he first spoke to Pharaoh to demand the Israelites' release. False. Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83 when they first spoke to Pharaoh. True or false? Moses' primary excuse to God at the burning bush was that he was too old to lead. False. His main excuse was that he was slow of speech and of a slow tongue. He stuttered. True or false? On the way back to Egypt, Moses' wife Zipporah saved his life by circumcising their son. True. In a mysterious passage, the Lord sought to kill Moses, and Zipporah performed the circumcision, appeasing God. True or false? The Bible specifically identifies the Pharaoh of the Exodus as Ramses II. False. The Bible never names the Pharaoh of the Exodus. All names like Ramesses or Amenhotep are theories from historians. True or false? The Israelites were in Egypt for exactly 430 years before the Exodus. True. The time the Israelites lived in Egypt was 430 years. True or false? Moses' hands were held up by Aaron and Hur during a battle against the Midianites. False. It was during a battle against the Amalekites. True or false? 3 men named Korah, Dathan, and Abiram were swallowed by the earth after rebelling against the leadership of Moses and Aaron. True. They accused Moses of exalting himself, and the ground opened up and swallowed them and their households. True or false? The prophet Balaam was hired by the king of Egypt to curse the Israelites. False. He was hired by Balak, the king of Moab. True or false? After God gave Moses the new, second set of stone tablets, Moses' face shone so brightly that he had to wear a veil. True, his skin was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord, and the people were afraid to come near him. True or false? Moses was from the tribe of Judah. False. Moses and Aaron were both from the tribe of Levi. True or false, the Israelites were commanded to eat the Passover meal with their sandals on and their staff in hand, ready to leave quickly. True. God instructed them to eat with their cloak tucked into their belt, sandals on their feet, and a staff in hand, eating in haste. True or false? Moses died at the age of 100. False. Moses died at the age of 120. True or false? The Bible states that Moses' body was buried by his sons in a secret tomb on Mount Nebo. False. The Bible states that God buried him in a valley, but no one knows his burial place to this day. True or false? About 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children, left Egypt during the Exodus. True. The Israelites journeyed from Ramses to Succoth with about 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children. True or false? The Egyptians gave the Israelites articles of silver and gold and clothing when they left Egypt. True. The Israelites asked the Egyptians for articles of silver and gold and for clothing, and the Egyptians gave them what they asked for, so they plundered the Egyptians. And that is it. 45 questions on the life of Moses. We've finished all 3 levels. What was your final score out of 45? Drop it in the comments right now. Let us know which question stumped you, or which one you were proud to get right. If you had fun and learned something new today, please give this video a big thumbs up, and make sure you are subscribed to Brain Fuel TV and have that bell icon clicked. What character or book of the Bible should we tackle next? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for playing along. Until next time, stay curious and keep fueling your brain.